All you have to do is close your eyes and listen.
Welcome to episode 33 of TSGG Chat. I'm your host, Kevin Bork. With me this week is Kailey. Hey, Kailey.
Hello.
Brett.
Hey.
And Brennon.
How's it going?
Not bad. How's it going with you guys?
I mean, I have a voice again, so...
Yay.
Welcome back to having a voice. I do too. This is a great episode for us.
Terrible time in my life. I do lose it when I yell at Overwatch sometimes, though. So that's good for him.
Yeah, that
Sometimes
would
it
be a
goes
benefit.
so high that I'm
Is
just
it
like,
good for me?
I have no
It
voice
should be
anymore.
good.
While he's yelling at Overwatch, it's a good time. Low tension in my household.
You can't hear him anymore.
As we watched the Eagles lose, I was like, I'm opening Overwatch. And he's like, oh, my heart can't take that.
So I played FIFA. It was a bad day.
But I played really well, so it was all good.
So you're over that. There's always next season. At least you guys have a solid quarterback.
I mean, he's a little fragile. So I don't know if
He
you can call him
finished his
solid.
rookie season. He's fine. If we just get a training staff that correctly diagnoses injuries.
Right.
Moving on from
We
the
can talk about that in
sportscast.
another show, but in this show we talk about video games and everything that's going on in the industry. But first,
Anthem. Can we just...
no, we're not. No.
Okay. Yeah.
Follow
Okay.
us over on Twitter at the TSGG. Subscribe to us at youtube.com/The Society. Watch us live at twitch.tv/TSGG online. Get early access to us if you subscribe over at patreon.com/TSGG. Got a pretty good show this week. We're talking about Super Smash Bros. And everything we're excited for 2019.
I'm just going to yell Anthem into the mic for you guys. So you headphone users, I'm just warning you now. I'm just yelling Anthem.
Not only everything we're excited for, but also
Turn it
maybe
up.
a few predictions for 2019.
Would you say they're bold?
He says
predictions?
maybe,
They may be
but
bold.
there are bold predictions incoming. The boldest.
I'm going to put my bold prediction right out there.
Oh, we're starting with the predictions. Okay.
No, we'll hold it. We'll
Okay.
hold it up. Let's talk about Super Smash Brothers first.
Sounds good.
So we've been playing this a little bit, and we awarded it our best fighter of 2018,
Oh, easily.
even though it only came out a few weeks before the end of 2018. So at Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, it'll be in contention this year, which is going to have to face off against MK11.
It's probably going to lose.
So good luck to them.
Yeah.
But
MK11.
as we didn't do ours until the year had ended, we awarded it first place.
And this way it won't conflict with MK11.
Because it would lose.
You're welcome, Nintendo.
MK11 with a loot system. Oh, my lord.
Okay, let's not talk about that yet.
That's for future.
Although the live stream is happening in just 4 days. By the time you hear this, the live stream would have happened, and I would have collapsed.
He's dead. Heart attack. We'll also see an Anthem live stream on the same day where they're showing us the full Tyrants boss, so we'll be buried on the same day. Our families will let you guys know when.
Same.
We'll just have to take over for the hosting duties for TSGG. We won't
Would
be-
you
Jake's got it.
like a
right, Jake?
Javelin's helmet at your grave?
Yes, please.
That was
Could you make
the
that happen for me?
Colossus.
I mean, that's I don't care at
He'll
this
take
point.
you there.
I will play
Any.
any of them.
Oh no, sorry, the Interceptor is for you.
Correct.
I'll play them all.
Which has the best
So,
ult?
that one
It does have the best helmet.
video
said alt,
that you shared with me that you said sniping was in Anthem, was that not a Colossus doing
There was a
sniping?
Colossus sniping, yes.
This game makes no sense anymore to me. The tank, no tank,
Oh, it
snipe.
was
whatever.
a heavy sniper.
We'll talk later.
Yeah,
about
that was a
exploded.
special.
Maybe if
Did you
that
notice-
is a prediction of yours or exciting
It's not.
thing, we'll talk about.
Okay, I'm definitely
Anthem.
excited for it, but
But first, we need to talk about the news. That's what we do.
yeah,
here.
you're right.
It's
You're
always
right.
the
You're
news.
right. I'm sorry.
Getting ahead of myself.
I'm just excited about Anthem.
I have terrible news.
We're 12 days away.
On January 31st at 8 a.m., Warhawk servers will be shut down.
I have no idea what that is.
It's the end of the world. The worst thing that could possibly
I feel like that
happen.
came out before I was born.
Times a million.
Probably.
It probably did. It was a PS3 game. It was an MMO.
That didn't come out before we were born.
First,
just in case guys
7.
were wondering.
It was a really cool game. You, as a player, you created a character and you were able to rank up, and then you could go from recruit all the way to general.
Mm-hmm.
And as you did that, you unlocked new personnel and aircraft customization options at each rank. It was a really fun game.
Sounds
Is it like a
an
mobile
app
device? Yeah, this sounds like something I
it was,
play on my app.
You played like deathmatch, capture the flag, zones, and stuff like
Is it
that.
like World of Tanks?
I never played World of Tanks.
Game. No,
World
it's
of
not
Tanks,
like
you're just
World
a
of
tank.
Tanks. No,
No,
because
no. This you had aircraft, you had land vehicles.
did you fly the
and-
aircraft, or were you a human who like called it in?
No, you were a human that got into your aircraft that you customized the way you wanted it to look.
Gotcha.
And they had two different styles. Like they had the old war airplanes
Mhm.
for the one faction, and then for the other one, it was like the new stealth bombers and stuff like that.
Well, obviously,
So
I
the
would
new
be in that
ones
faction.
won.
Huh?
That's what you're saying. I said, so the new faction won, obviously.
Well, I mean, it was just cosmetic.
Oh,
They performed the same,
gotcha.
but it was the way that they
That
like,
is
and you could customize for each, so that when you went, you just used your loadout.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really fun game. It's sad that
But now
being
it's
shut
closed.
down. Yeah,
Kev,
Even
you
though
haven't
they
played
used
this
to
game
have
in like
people
7 years.
Host stuff.
I haven't played this game in more than 7 years.
Yeah.
And you're sad about
No.
this.
Don't
Yeah, I am
worry,
sad.
because
Well,
we're
maybe
going
it
to
was
buy
7
that
years ago, 'cause
server
I
and
remember
run
you
it
showed
for
it
you.
to
Did I show it to you?
You did.
That was one of my
Yeah,
favorite
I'm
games.
not being
That was one of the
serious.
first.
I'm being heavily ignored, though.
Yeah,
so it's
I would
okay.
definitely listen to.
Just ignore
That was
it.
the first like multiplayer MMO that I played on the PS3.
I am actually now picturing Dweeby Kevin
Yeah.
Dweeby?
going to Kailey.
Wow, Kevin.
He's like, Kailey, come watch me fly my Warhawk.
He's more like, oh, I gotta show you this game. I used to play so much. I love this game. And he's like, oh my god, the servers are still up.
Yeah, I was so shocked that they were up
And
then.
then
'Cause this
she's
was a long
watching it
time ago.
like,
She was like, "This is terrible. We're breaking up."
I
and
persevered.
he's like, wow, World of Warcraft.
No,
And
that
she
was
came
before her
back.
time.
No.
That was before her time. Here's some actual news. Project Cars developer,
Mm-hmm.
Slightly Mad Studios. They're developing their own console for next gen. Did you guys hear about that?
No.
Is it like the
called-
Soldier Boy console?
No.
Can we talk about it?
It's called the Mad Box,
Okay.
and they said their console will be the most powerful console next gen. And they already have
How
everything
do they know
lined
that?
up.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
very
super
bold.
bold statement, and they already have everything lined up, and they're just working on partnerships for the materials.
Yeah, but how do they know that?
I wish them well.
Because PS5 or whatever
Well,
it's
they're
called.
developers,
and-
so they have the developer kits.
yeah, but Xbox Scarlet isn't out.
No, but
they have the kits out.
they have the kits.
The
The kits
specs
are out.
there.
The kits are out there. And
I
they
don't
said
think
they're
Xbox-
jumping in because they don't believe it should only be a couple people in there, and they think that they can make one
Good luck
and
to
give
them.
it at a more competitive price and make it more powerful.
I mean, if all that's true, I'll buy it.
Good luck.
If
Yeah.
it's trash, I'll let you guys know.
I'm just
More
saying.
details most likely coming soon.
They run the market. The big three. They
They
run
do.
the market.
Yeah, and when I
Well,
think it was
well,
alluded to
Nintendo
that
kind of dropped off the face of the planet for a little while, and then came back. So
no,
It
they
came
didn't really
and
drop off. They just had a big
They
miss.
just had the Wii U.
They had a huge hit with the Wii, a stellar hit with the 3DS line, or the DS line, if you will.
All 76 of them.
And
Too
then
many.
they had a really, really big miss with the Wii U, and they pretty much want everyone to forget that existed
I mean, they
Mm.
did that for me with the Switch.
because they're having a mega hit with the Switch.
Wait,
As they
Switch
should.
2
They've
comes
earned
out.
that.
Last we checked, it was 20 million sold on the Switch.
Yeah, they are outpacing Microsoft and Sony.
what was
This gen.
Steam's console called? Didn't Steam have a
The
console?
Steam Box thing,
Yeah.
that was canceled. That
We'll
never-
go into that in a second, too. A lot of
But,
news about Steam recently.
I don't have that lined up, so I'll rely on you for that.
Fair enough.
Up next from me, though, is Capcom is bringing its rather excellent action RPG Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen to the Switch this spring. It's actually coming out on April 23rd for $29.99. That's a great price.
It's actually
Wow.
super cheap.
Super hype about that. It's one of my favorite games.
I'm
You were
actually
not
really
hype at all when
excited.
I told
No.
you about this.
Yeah, he doesn't look
He's a
hype at all.
liar.
I'm not going to be. Shut up. That is all.
Well, are you going to play it?
Not on the Switch, no.
No,
If
you
I
don't
play
think
it,
so?
I would just play it on my Xbox. I
I
still
didn't
have
play it on
'Cause you-
Xbox.
you still have it?
I just watched him play it on Xbox, so I'll probably play it on
You
the
gonna
Switch.
pick it up on the
'cause
Switch?
The Switch is my
Interesting.
thing.
I mean,
so-
$30.
One
That's
of
and it's
my
handheld.
favorite combat systems in any
$30 is enticing.
game. Mounting the monster is possibly the coolest thing in any game I've ever done. So
If I did have a negative about the Switch, it's when they port things over, they always charge full price, and you can get the same game on other consoles for less.
Right.
And I don't think that I understand it costs money to
Port it.
make it and port it over, but you got to compete a little bit.
That was my problem with what's the one by Blizzard? I can't think of the title right now. I love it. Blizzard's title that they just ported over to Switch.
Diablo 3?
Yeah. That was my biggest problem with that because I wanted to go get that pack on the Switch, but I have it on Xbox and it's $60
It's
on the
$60.
Switch. I'm not
Full price
doing
game.
that for a game I've played.
How many times you want me to buy this? Oh, all the times? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, because that game came
It's just
out
like Skyrim.
on
I was gonna say
360
I
and
was just about to throw that out
PS3,
there.
and then
Right.
we rebought it, remastered on this gen, and now it's out on the Switch again. And it's like, how many times are you going to buy it?
Right.
I
If
would
it was
very much
$30,
have-
I would definitely do it because
Now, if
it's
it was
portable
Final
Diablo.
Fantasy VII,
We also bought it
I'll be
twice.
buying it on
Bought
every
the
console that it exists on.
original, and then we bought the Reaper of Souls edition.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I did that too. And now it's the Eternal Collection that has
Right.
everything.
Well, they've added so much cool content, so
Well,
I'm
the seasons are great.
yeah.
It's a never-ending game.
get the Necromancer. Super OP.
Yeah, it
Unstoppable.
really is. Moving on, Xbox Game Pass subscribers got a very nice surprise. This month, they are getting Just Cause 3 and the Life is Strange series, but also they are getting Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which, in many's opinion, is the best of the Marvel vs. Capcom series.
I'm gonna play Just Cause and that Marvel game. Never played either.
Yeah, I believe all of them are available now. Here's some news about PlayStation's December downloads. Top 10 PS4 games for
I
December.
saw that.
So I guess I can't ask you to guess.
No.
Tetris.
Spider-Man is far too high up on the list for my liking.
I'll just go from 10 to 1 real quick. Number 10, Madden NFL 19. Number 9, NBA 2K19.
I already killed my soul. It's already gone.
Number 8, Marvel Spider-Man. Number 7, Mortal Kombat XL, which was
MK11 had to hype a bunch of people up then.
yeah, and also they put it out on PS Plus, I believe,
Game Pass as well.
or maybe it was Game Pass. Yeah, it may not have been on.
I think
PS
it was
Plus,
PS
actually.
Plus as well.
Not sure. It could be the hype though. You're right. Number 6, FIFA 19.
Oh, well, it's a
Number
competitive
5,
game.
Battlefield 5. Number 4,
Ooh,
Red
that
Dead
one's
Redemption 2. Number 3, still amazing me, Grand Theft Auto 5. Still in the top 5. Still in the top 3.
Which is crazy because you would think that everybody that wanted it would have it by now. It's
you
been
would
out
think, right?
7 years.
Everyone should have it by now.
People are just
It's in the
deleting it and
top 5.
re-downloading it.
Month after month, it's in the top 5.
I don't
I
understand.
don't understand it either. Number 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And the number 1 downloaded game
God
of
of War.
December,
Correct.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Wow, that's actually shocking.
I thought it was God of War.
Oh, no, it's
I
not
saw
even
a
on the
different list.
God of War is not even on the list.
That might be for the year, not December, that I
Yeah,
saw.
That was just December, guys.
PUBG? Really?
PUBG
Well, they released
came
the
out in
winter
December.
stuff.
No, PUBG came out in December for PS4.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it
right. That's
debuted.
right. That's right. I forgot it was Xbox only before.
And it was the number 1 downloaded game. And it is not free.
Apparently,
Oh, actually, that was the PS Plus game, PUBG.
apparently it's the
Good for
winter
them.
map is actually really cool. So people have really enjoyed PUBG with that.
No, it wasn't the PS Plus game at all.
What are you
Can
talking
you
about?
land on a decision?
I don't
here?
know, man. What was the PS Plus games for December?
I don't check
Anybody
that.
know?
You know I'm a Microsoft guy. I don't check that.
I look
I
at
check Game Pass every day.
There are games I like on Game Pass.
What about the games with gold? That's what's similar to PS Plus.
I don't check that either.
The Surge is on that this month.
Oh, nice.
That's actually dope.
Rockstar Games has begun work on next-gen titles. They are on a hiring frenzy right now.
35 FPS coming your way.
It was Soma and Onrush.
Oh, Soma. That's right. The horror game.
Yeah, sure. Love it.
You want to play it?
No.
Rockstar branches in India, New York, and Toronto are all looking for people to help work on next-generation games.
It's just Grand Theft Auto 6.
6.
Yeah.
What's more, with Rockstar India hiring, that will most likely be GTA 6.
I'm shocked. I really do hope they up the frames per second, though, because they've been locked at 30 for like the last decade. So
This is probably some of the biggest news of the last week or two.
Well, new console, you'd have to, right?
What's that?
Think?
they
Up
did it with the Pro.
FPS.
They did it with the X.
We'll talk about that in our predictions, but
Yikes.
I guess we can say it here. I think there's
Especially
going to be a
with
standard.
With 4K being so much more available already, you would think they would up the FPS on console.
I'll tell you why I think the standard is going to be 60 frames per second
That's
when we
what it
go
should
into
be
the
now
2019
anyway,
thing.
but-
Okay.
Just remind me.
Yeah.
So this is probably the biggest news of the last week or two. Activision and Bungie are parting ways. Bungie will now own
Destiny.
exclusively the Destiny franchise, and they will publish it.
So get your wallets out.
No.
Activision.
Hurt me
There was
twice. Never again. I don't care how good the game is.
a joint statement from Activision and Bungie. This was the joint statement. Today, we're announcing plans for Bungie to assume full publishing rights, the responsibilities for Destiny franchise. Going forward, Bungie will own and develop the franchise, and Activision will increase its focus on owned IP and other projects. Activision and Bungie are committed to a seamless transition for the Destiny franchise and will continue to work closely together during the transition on behalf of the community of Destiny players around the world. And Activision also tweeted, "Thank you, Guardians. It's been an honor and a privilege to help bring the world of Destiny to life for you."
Did you see Bungie's statement?
Yes.
That basically mirrored their statement from D1 to D2 where they said, hey, we've learned everything and we're going
Yeah,
to bring
I
you
saw that.
the game
Yeah.
that you want.
With that,
we know the
And
what
it
the
was
players
the
want.
And it was the exact same statement.
was
And
the
I was
same
like,
thing.
oh my.
when
Which-
they make D3,
And they will.
if it's the same cycle,
It will
of
be.
terrible game.
It's going to be.
Yeah,
first
that's the
patch,
cycle.
you buy
no,
it,
no.
just
They have a new cycle now. It's the annual pass cycle. So it's going to be content. Slow content.
I'm going to put it in air
Activision is
quotes.
gone. So now we can blame it all on Bungie if it's Bungie.
You blame
So-
them 100% now. They can't pass the blame.
They wrote
They
it.
will.
It literally read like the
who?
exact same letter that they gave us
Halo's
between
fault.
D1 and D2. Like it was the exact same letter, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, do you think that we all forgot that you said the same thing?
I mean, they
between
said the
D1
same
and
thing
D2?
after like the midway point of
So,
D2. They
I
said
don't
that.
what do you
understand.
think the real reason is behind this?
The real reason is there was a earnings call in November where Activision
This is
had
all
said
speculation.
some of our other franchises like Destiny are not performing as well as we'd like.
Because they spent like what, $50 million on the.
Yeah,
Promotion.
he went on
Marketing.
to say that some players were in wait and see mode, and that was time to bring players back, and they didn't come back.
Yeah, I wonder why. Wonder what did
Because the game
They had
was
a
bad.
They had
that. Was it because 6 days in I had all the raid gear and was done?
a couple months ago they had a bad news earnings call with their partners and stuff, and that was said there. And now this, so
Good luck to them.
Anthem.
Halo 3 was a really good Bungie game.
Halo Infinite's going to
Let's all
absolutely
think back to
destroy.
those days.
yeah. Let's go to Microsoft for a minute because
Is there news?
yeah, Leather Jacket Phil was over at CES
Oh, yeah, he was.
talking
Phil.
about their partnership with AMD and how it's stronger than ever and how AMD is going to be providing the graphics cards for next gen, which is really cool. Also, Larry Herb, he went to Twitter and said the Battle Stations Pacific, Fuel, and Rayman Raving Rabbids are coming to Xbox One backward compatibility. So this is really cool because when Phil was on stage talking about AMD, he had mentioned all of the work that AMD actually does with this backwards compatibility program.
Right.
And if you guys don't know, it's not just so much as letting you play your old games.
They optimize them.
They optimize them. They enhance them.
Right.
One that I actually want to go back and experience from what I'm reading is the Final Fantasy 13 is apparently stellar on the Xbox One X.
Well, most of the games that they have that are backwards compatible are also available in Game Pass. That's one way that they kind of fill in the gaps that they have, is the backwards compatible ones are also thrown in there. So that's
really
kind
cool.
of a cool treat too.
I mean, even when they're not, backwards compatible games are like $6, so it's not like they break the bank either.
This is true. But, I mean, it's a really cool feature, and I think by Phil being on stage announcing next-gen and backwards compatibility, I was on the fence about some of the predictions that we're going to talk about. Maybe backwards compatibility might be going away because of more like streaming services, etc. I no longer think that, because why would he go up there and
announce
tout
that.
and
I would
then
have disagreed heavily
take it
with
away.
you, regardless.
Correct.
So.
what?
I would have disagreed very heavily with you.
Part of my
regardless.
reasoning for disagreeing with you would have been the fact that they want you to have the games that you're like end cycle of the Xbox One X, they want you to still be able to play those games. So if I'm buying Anthem for the X, then in 6 months they come out with this. They still kind of, the way they've done it in the past is they've still wanted you to be able to play that game that you just
that's
bought.
what
So
Game Pass is for, or that other streaming service that they really haven't shown us what that is yet. Update for Red Dead Online.
It's going very poorly.
No, actually, it's not.
I heard the opposite.
No, it's going really well. They said a big thank you. They just did an update on their page, and it says a big thank you to everyone who's taken part in the Red Dead Online beta over the holidays, and especially to those who have taken the time to provide us with their feedback. Please keep it coming. Red Dead Online will stay in beta for a few more months, yet as we have many more new gameplay features to add across the board, as well as further changes to improve, stabilize, and refine the overall experience. Today's update to the Red Dead Online beta introduces Gun Rush, where you'll put your survival instincts to the test, gathering weapons and ammunition while the play area shrinks in this new mode for up to 32 players.
it's a battle royale.
Totally.
I don't
Available
like that
to
we
play
did that
now
at the
in
same time.
free-for-all and team variations.
Did you
where the last
see-
one standing wins?
One of the biggest issues that I've seen people discuss about it is the griefing is horrible.
They're working on that. And they've fixed the economy system too. So here are some more updates that are coming soon, including new races and showdown modes and new clothing and emotes, as well as some additional changes based on player feedback. That is awesome. This is all based on player feedback, and they're doing it. So daily challenges, tackle new challenges each day, covering every aspect of the game, from sharpshooting to evading the law. Law and bounty upgrades. Some changes are coming into the way of the law and bounty systems. Work in Red Dead Online to reduce the enticements for griefing. Soon, players will get a bounty for committing crimes and will be incentivized to pay them off within an allotted time. Wait too long, and bounty hunters from each of the states will track the player, forcing them to either pay up or escape. Parlay changes. We're making the parlay system easier to trigger so that you can avoid aggressive players more quickly. In addition, it will be easier to trigger feuds, posse feuds, and leader feuds to take on attacking players in structured competition. So these are really good changes.
Yeah, those are huge for griefing, because I've seen a lot of videos where people are just doing whatever, like we were discussing fishing, and a posse will roll up and hogtie them and just kill them, basically.
Right. So they're looking to change that.
I mean,
so
on
you
one
can,
hand, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but then for
But
that
on the other
player,
hand,
that's
that
very
really sucks.
frustrating.
To you.
It
Yeah.
happens to you over and over and over,
Right.
and your
You're like,
experience
all
turns
I wanna
into
do is fish.
crap.
That would be Kevin.
Yeah, you're right.
Fishing
We
is fun,
we talked
That
about
was
that
our
going
plan.
into it. Yeah,
That was our goal.
Squad fishing.
They're also going to have proximity-based player blips. Player location blips will soon appear only over short distances, reducing the range at which you are visible to others, decreasing the likelihood of being targeted by another player across large areas. Down the line, they're also looking to introduce the ability to identify players who grief and kill indiscriminately with a progressively darkening blip that becomes more visible and at longer range, so everyone in a session can identify potentially dangerous opponents at a glance and from a safe distance.
So they're red players, like in Sword Art Online.
Everyone's going to murder them. That's what
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
You're going to get them.
They're red players. That's
And those are some of the things that they're working on in the short term. And then they said in the long term, they're working on all new missions to build on your story in a land of opportunities from previously established characters like Horley and Jessica Leclerc, and also some new ones. A range of dynamic events throughout the world, lots of new competitive modes, including the new showdown modes and races, plus new weapons and clothing, and lots more that they're not quite ready to announce yet. And they finally announced that Xbox One players can now access the Red Chestnut Arabian Horse, Alligator Skin Ranch Cutter Saddle, and the High Roller Double Action Revolver in the online beta.
Actually, pretty hype about the Arabian Horse.
Yeah. So they're working, and they're working hard.
yeah.
I think that it's gonna be one that's probably gonna last a long time.
Well, they expected it to. They did talk about how they had plans for a
Just
year
like GTA
at least.
Online.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think once they come out of beta mode and do a full release, then that's when they'll launch the version where you can just purchase the online,
Right.
which is what they did with GTA Online for, I think it was like $20, and you can just get in there. And my last piece of news for today is to tell you all that THQ Nordic is back at it again, and they've now purchased the rights to the classic sci-fi action adventure Outcast. So they're still buying everything and releasing nothing yet. Where's Biomutant? God damn it.
We haven't even seen like another clip of Biomutant.
We got Darksiders 3.
I watched a speedrun video in 42 minutes of Darksiders 3.
Well, you can't do that, though.
No, I mean they speedrun.
Can't
It's
use
such a short
glitches and
game
map jumps.
that they speedran it in 42 minutes.
Nah, they used map glitches.
I mean that's pretty small. Even with map
I mean,
glitches,
Dark Souls.
he killed everything in 42 minutes.
Dark Souls 2,
Wow.
I think, had like a 18-minute speed run
Oh
you
my
could do
God.
where you could jump through half the map. So
Or he had a 9-minute speedrun.
people find things.
9 minutes.
9 minutes. He beat every boss.
Oh, my
It
God.
was insane.
Anybody else have any news they want to discuss?
Last piece of news here. Ubisoft is skipping Steam for The Division 2. They are using the Epic Games launcher.
Yeah, that is news.
That is
That is big time news.
Correct.
And Ubisoft is also looking to bring more games to Epic, but we don't know yet if they're going to be exclusive to Epic or not.
Fortnite turned
We do
Epic
know the Division
into
2 will be.
a monster.
for now.
Yeah, I think it was news I wanted to say last week too. The tools that they developed for making their cross-platform
Mhm.
playability, where that's actually a system that Epic created from the ground up, and I think it's this year, 2019. They're going to release that out to developers for free. They're just
That's
giving that system away.
Well, there's probably some ties that say
No, they created it and they want it out there because
They
it
wanna
doesn't serve them to be the only ones to have it. Because anything they make going forward, they don't want to keep having this conversation with
with
these
Sony.
companies saying, "Look,
Don't say these
What do we
companies.
gotta do?
Just
We
say
know who it
Sony.
is.
We know it's Sony. Just say Sony.
so I think they've already made it. They have it.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
they're
that
just going
makes
to get it
sense.
out there so that others can do it too, and then it becomes the norm,
Right.
And not so much,
Super rad.
well, you sold 1 billion. I guess we can.
Do what
I
you
guess we'll do it.
It wasn't
want. See, my
that.
issue with these...
It's like, we're not doing it. And
Yeah,
then,
it was that.
oh, shit.
Well, we can't do it.
Understand why devs are leaving, skipping Steam, because it's like a 35% profit they take from that game itself if it's on
True.
the store.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So I understand it. The issue with that is Steam's really customer friendly. Refunds being a big one, they do offer them. So that's why games like Fallout 76 never came to Steam. It was through Bethesda.net, their launcher.
Yeah, true.
They did not offer refunds, which, as we know, that's a whole
Lawsuit.
blow. So
Oh, speaking of that, one last note on the Activision Bungie front. Destiny will remain on the Blizzard app. Just in case anybody wanted to know.
The Blizzard app.
Yeah, the Battle.net.
Oh, got you.
It's staying in Activision's Battle.net store.
Got you.
But yeah, so that'll be interesting in 2019 and beyond. Just the struggle there.
Well, didn't Hades do the same thing?
I believe Hades is on.
It's only
Epic.
Epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And actually, I think you can get the early access right now.
Yeah.
That was a Game Awards thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know when the full release for Hades is.
2019 sometime.
Yeah, just 2019. Yeah, it looks great.
It's
Looks
very
very
fun.
Love
reminiscent
the
of Dead
love the
Cells.
art in that.
It does. I mean, the art is Dead Cells. It's spot on, but
Yeah. It's like half Dead Cells, half Transistor.
yeah.
Really good. Really
I like
cool.
the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Okay, so that's it for news this week. That should keep you busy for a week. Oh, we got one more news piece coming in. Hold
Just
on.
because I'm not yelling.
Oh my goodness, you got to yell.
It's how it works around here. All right.
One little tidbit of information that I found interesting is that Humble is now selling Nintendo Switch and 3DS games in the U.S. only.
That is actually really awesome.
They are testing the waters right now. They have currently over 40 Nintendo games and add-ons in the store, including Pokemon Let's Go, Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Super Mario Odyssey and Ocarina of Time of 3D. So then they also have expansions for Splatoon 2 and the online 3 and 12-month subscriptions. But they're still full price. They're not included in the Humble Bundles yet, but I think they're looking to see if maybe that's going to be
Testing the waters.
a
See the
future-
interest
That'd
that's
be very,
there.
very cool.
Either
because-
way, it's really cool that it goes for charity, which is what the importance of Humble Bundle
Yeah.
stuff is. But I was really, really surprised because Nintendo doesn't normally branch out and
Well, I can probably say this is because of IGN, because they own Humble Bundle now. So they have some play there. Yeah, they got
Yeah.
some pull. They probably had this done. They're good friends with Reggie, and so they probably worked out a deal.
but it's only US only as of right now.
Makes
So,
sense.
It's kind of like in beta. They'll see where it goes and how it does. But that's very cool because a lot of them, like you said, it's for charity, and a lot of their deals are awesome.
Yeah. We've purchased a couple of the bundles, and
I mean, you get like 30
can't go wrong.
games for
You
like
really can't.
$10.
even if it's a crap game, who cares?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I got all the Borderlands.
Overwatch is in them for like $1, and it's been in like 7 of
I've
them.
gotten
Well, that's
my
'cause
hands on some
Overwatch is
really
pure
cool
garbage.
games that it's great if you're not sure about a particular game and you just want
Right.
to test the waters, or like my Civilization games on the computer. I'm like, get the full game for
$12.
$12 versus like $20 each expansion.
Right.
Pop, yeah.
Don't get Civ 6. Unless you like cartoons. Then go for it.
He was so hurt
Is
by
it
the
like
Switch.
is it like
I
Revolution?
hated the Switch.
Did you ever play Revolution?
Yes, it's just like that.
Just like that?
I hate it.
Yeah, that's like a
I miss
a watered
Is
down
that the
version.
console one?
Yeah.
I miss Civ 4, Civ 5.
Civ
Well-
5 was really fun. We played a lot.
I own
And
them
Hot-
both, so
Hot
I mean
Seat-
I can play them.
Hot
but
Seat was so much fun. I played so much Civ with my friends.
Yeah,
Beyond
we
Earth,
used to
also
take
a very
turns
good
passing
Civ.
the laptop around, taking turns. It's a lot of fun.
We
There's
played
three of us that
Age
did
of
that.
Mythology. Age of Mythology was
play
very
a lot
fun.
in the Age of Mythology, Age of Empires. I have all these on my laptop still.
So kudos to that. Hopefully it works out and they'll be able to do some price reductions because I'd like to get my hands on some.
Ocarina of Time for sure. would
I mean,
be-
it's
Yeah,
just
that
the
would be
digital stuff, so
awesome.
it's not like you're getting a physical copy of some of like the 3DS games or
Yeah.
I mean,
Switch games.
that's
Ocarina
fun.
of Time.
Everything we
It's
buy
my
is
favorite
digital
Zelda
anyway,
because
unless
Link
it's a
actually
collector's
grows
edition.
out of it.
That's the coolest thing. That's
I really wanted that in Breath of the Wild.
well, that's like Fable. Fable for me was
Like
so awesome
aging?
because you could like age your
Oh,
person grew up.
It's not. He doesn't grow throughout.
No, I mean it's just such a cool element.
You're skipping time.
I know that.
Yeah, that's the same thing. You're aging. Time
Oh,
is
you gotta
moving.
go back and forth though. It's not once
Yeah,
you become an
it's-
adult, you're an adult now. No, you gotta go back
No,
and
but
forth.
it's
There's
just kinda
systems there
cool
that
to do
require
that.
you
Yeah.
to go back and forth.
Like
But we liked it.
Fable 2, like you start as like a 16-year-old and then you're
Kind
a
of grow up
full-grown
as you
adult
go.
with horns at the end. So I mean,
I played the Ocarina of Time so many times.
We would jump in between. It's
I
just
just
a
want
cool
to tell
mechanic.
you that I played it so many times. I got so good at that game. I was able to complete the entire game in 2 hours. That is not a lie.
Because you just had everything memorized.
Yeah.
He now actually has an ocarina, a physical ocarina. He can
Do you play it?
I transport inside.
Oh,
I've seen the future.
we have
So these
reached
predictions.
full weeb.
Spot on.
Let's.
Welcome.
Okay,
to
so
the full weeb TSGG chat.
we had a lot more news this week than I anticipated, and it took up half the show. So the other half of the show is going to be talking about our 2019 predictions, and we're going to push Smash Brothers to next week.
We'll just talk about that during the group play.
Well, we're going to play that, and then we'll push our review discussion
While
to
I'm
next week.
destroying you, I can
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
not important.
In between the screaming rap sounds.
Randoms.
GL.
GR.
All right, let's get into
I
this.
think that's the only time I've ever heard you actually say that in chat.
I think we're excited about 2019.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I said
A
it.
little bit.
I am on the record saying it's the best year in gaming ever. So
November 2019.
that is to say, I'm pretty excited for the year
That's all I
ahead.
think about.
November 2019, when the next Call of Duty.
It's actually when PS5 and Xbox, the next one, probably get announced. But more importantly, Cyberpunk comes out.
Whoa, you think it's all right? Let's go ahead and get right to the next gen stuff, or do you want to go title by
No,
title?
let's do next gen
Go right to next gen.
because we're ready for
To
it.
start with that, I think,
You-
they get announced November and then
Wow.
released the following November.
No, man.
We did the research on it.
Yeah,
They will be
correct.
released in November.
Almost
And I
guaranteed.
definitely
When
think
they-
they're
when
coming
they get-
2020. So
The only
Yeah.
odd one out was the Switch, which was in March.
Yeah, well, Nintendo, they don't care.
No,
Exactly.
well,
Yeah, I
Nintendo,
read-
even every other Nintendo was,
In
except
November,
for
yeah,
the
you're right,
Switch.
yeah.
Christmas season.
Yeah, it's that season. But this was prior to the big tax return sale. Because nobody released their big titles January, February, and March until
Christmas.
a couple of years ago when Horizon Zero Dawn sold gangbusters. And they were like, people buy games after Christmas? Okay.
I still think it's going to be November.
I
Just
still
'cause
think so, too.
that's when people are going to buy their kids' stuff.
They're
and that's-
prepared. They're
And then
prepared to blow
in
lots of cash.
2018, Capcom was like, Monster Hunter World, how will that do? Oh, that's our highest selling game ever.
They
So,
poured
I
all
don't
their
know
money
Did you see
into
their
it.
beta? You got one bullet.
Oh, yeah, that was
Resident
the
Evil
Resident Evil 2.
2.
You got
That's
one
hilarious.
bullet.
You
Good
got
luck.
one bullet, 30 minutes to get as far as you can get.
Yep.
And they called it the one-shot demo.
Yep.
And you can't play it again. So one shot has so many meanings
I
right
hope
there.
you don't suck.
Was Mr.
God, I love Capcom so
is it
much.
Mr. X in that one? Or is it Nemesis? Nemesis is
Nemesis
the 3,
is 3,
right?
yeah.
So it's the
the
bowler wearing
Titan
dude.
guy, yeah.
yeah. Was he in it? Was he in the demo?
I do not know. I haven't played it yet.
'Cause
I haven't
he's-
taken
he's
my
just
one
saving
shot
his
yet.
one shot.
All I need is one shot.
For we, but I
Alrighty.
warned you.
He's back.
It is
God.
very late. And
So,
I don't
yeah.
know what's in this water.
That's when I think next gen is coming. Announced next November.
No, I think it's
this
announced
November.
at E3.
Oh, well,
I wouldn't
Sony's
be
not going
surprised
to be
to
there.
see
Well,
if
not
Sony's got
Sony,
something
but-
brewing. I think Sony's going to do their own announcement for it early, and I think it might drop this year. I think it might. I think
No.
I don't know about that.
Oh.
I
I'm
think
hopeful. Okay,
I mean, that is your bold
I'm being-
prediction too. So you, we
that's your
can't
bold.
say.
Is that your bold?
Well, no,
Sony's
that's
drops
not
bold.
this
bold.
year?
Another
Console.
bold.
I think Sony will announce theirs between April and July.
Oh, we get to choose spaces.
I do think
Yeah,
they
you
try
said
to.
November.
From today to 2020. They're
No,
gonna
I think it's
do
going to be
something
April
with it.
through July.
I think they. I think they do try to beat Xbox to the punch with it. So I think it's before E3. I do think it's early.
Yeah.
Because
they said they're not going to do anything during
Right.
E3 week. So
Right.
take that part of June away. So I'm thinking they may get out in front April.
Now you're doing like stop
May.
time.
I'm going to say April, May.
yeah, that's
I'll
when
do it right
that's
there,
when I
April,
would
May.
expect it would be April to May.
And then I think at E3, Microsoft's going to unveil everything.
Yep. All possibly 3 of their
Still think it's
consoles
a really
of the
risky
future.
strategy
On the
for
November
them.
release,
So I'm
though?
really curious to see how this plays out.
Oh yeah, this is skipping your first E3 in 20 years. This is risky.
Yeah. And what are they doing this year? Because
They've got nothing.
I think I'm right. I think the remaining 3 games are not coming out on PlayStation 4 before they come out on PlayStation 5.
You think they release at the
I
same
think
time?
they are launch titles, and they also release on PS4.
Yep.
We'll get at least 5 more 45-second clips from Death Stranding to wonder about.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
More
gonna,
deliveries
It's
to
a
see.
puzzle. See, I figured it out. All right.
Oh,
So you
he
take
figured it out.
I'm ready.
you take
What is
each
it?
clip. By the time they finish, you take
Watch
each
it
clip.
backwards.
No. You gotta fit them. You puzzle it around until it fits, and then it's a movie. And they're just debating us the whole time. It's not really a game.
You puzzle it around. Puzzle isn't a verb.
Okay.
How do you,
so
how
what
do you
I mean
puzzle
is,
it around?
so you gotta take it out. You gotta take each clip and kind of mess it around until you find which order they all go in. You know what I'm talking about? Like, okay, so say they gave us clip number 6 first, but then number 4 came after that, and
I would be so
and then it just debated us,
freaking
and it was just a
angry
lie.
if they did that to
Kojima
us.
Productions.
I think he's right, though, because every time you see Death Stranding, they always do that one title where
Yeah.
it's Death Stranding and it's like drippy. But if you look close, one letter is always different from the rest. And I think in each clip, those letters actually spell
Right.
a word, and it says the movie. I think he's right.
TSGG
That's what it
Dark
is.
Web. That's what we are now.
Get 3 free
For
scans
real though, I think
to
that is.
Experian.
I think that is how it's gonna go. I don't think it's a movie, obviously, but I do think that if you kind of
It's a puzzle.
at the end, if you put all of the clips in a certain order, I think it would actually make sense what's going on. That's what in my Kojima brain. That's what I think makes sense.
I don't think it's going to make sense after your third playthrough of the actual game.
Has that man's
I
brain,
mean,
but that man.
you're not wrong there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's when
so
the consoles are coming, in our opinions.
yeah, I think they're definitely 2020. But with the exception of Microsoft's streaming one, they could release that early.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, all they have to do at
It's
E3
much
this year
less
is say,
software
"Hey,
and
this is
hardware at
our
that.
this is everything you need to know about our streaming service. Also, we're going to throw Game Pass on there, and here it is.
Could you imagine if they did that? Oh, it's available now.
Yeah, it's available now, and it will support all of next gen's titles as well. Because
It's the Nintendo
I
thing
think
to do.
I think that
And it has all access so that you can buy it and finance
right.
it each
Yeah,
month.
that's what I mean. I think you can get that one now because it's like future proofing next gen.
Mhm.
It plays everything now, plus it plays everything else because you're just streaming it.
Right.
So
Digital
yeah,
licenses.
Ugh,
Kevin's favorite.
I hate it. I hate it, but it's where we're going, so I got to accept it.
Right.
The only thing that I
Don't just
want
be
is
petulant and throw
I
a
want it
hissy
to
fit
be
about it.
a seamless experience, and I want it to have their entire catalog.
I mean, Game Pass.
You
is
give me
pretty
every
seamless.
game all the way back from PlayStation 1 or Xbox One.
And I
all
want
the way to
sufficient
now.
storage.
That's not going to happen.
I want sufficient storage because I don't want to have to download
Oh, you won't
and
have to
delete.
store anything.
Everything would be cloud-based. This
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
whole
I mean,
cloud-based
it's
service.
assuming that people actually have fast enough internet speeds to.
Well, no, that's
support.
the whole point. That's the whole point of this box is that it's going to have the technology in it, so where
Mm-hmm.
it buffers before you play,
Right.
so you'll never experience latency, no matter your.
Well, that's what they're saying anyway.
That's what they-
Provided-
this is
Provided
actual.
you can actually make enough.
Like this isn't a rumor. This is what.
No,
Right.
I was there and I watched
Yeah,
the lady talk about
that's
it.
their
I can't remember
goal,
what
so.
her name is, but she.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
really cool stuff, man. I just can't wait.
You just
I just
hate
want to
the
see it.
digital licensing thing.
I do.
I'm just saying, with the way GameStop is heading, this is a good thing. We can just
Well, GameStop's not the
I
only
hope they
place that
still
sells games.
do
though.
like collector's
In our
editions
area?
and things, though.
No, because you have your other chain stores and everything. They have games.
I just hope
I'm
they
a
Amazon.
buy
buy it for my
collector's
couch.
editions and
That's
things.
where I like to be.
That's true.
You can buy it on
See,
Amazon on your couch and get
I
it delivered.
prefer to have my physical copy.
Yeah.
I like to take stuff with
shipping
me.
fees.
No,
I like
you
to.
have Amazon Prime.
I
Yeah,
actually
there's
like
no
to have a
talk. It's 2
tangible
days, it's
item
there.
to go.
It's too long.
This was what my
Overnight.
hours of my life that I slaved away at work represent.
Right.
A physical copy.
It's
Not just
it's that. It's the how do you
Actually owning.
No, I understand where you guys are coming from. I've had issues with this in the past where I can't play a license because I don't have the game actually. So I know exactly what you're saying.
It's the
Specifically,
risk-
Which company did you have issues with?
We're not
with
going to
that?
bring that
it's
up.
the risk of being able to have an archive of video games that bothers me.
Right.
Because when everything is digital and 15 years go by and then you're like, hey, I want to play that game. That was really cool. You're going to be reduced to having to look up somebody's video playing that game because you're not going to be able to get it. That's why I say if the cloud services provide you with the entire catalog, then I'm okay with it. But if they don't, and they're like, this is what you can play, we're going to change it all the time, and we're going to cycle them out, that kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, I don't
think it
expect
would
them to
work
cycle
like
them
that.
out. Yeah, I do expect it to be their full catalog of games released going forward. I don't expect it to be
Going back.
since Xbox. I don't expect that.
I mean, there might be some like this gen titles on there, but I don't think it's gonna be. Maybe even some like 360.
No,
or
there will
PS3.
definitely be 360 and in the Game Pass stuff. They'll still maintain that, but it won't be their full catalog going backwards. I do expect it to be their full catalog going forward, though. So I know what you're saying, but I expect them with their emphasis on backwards compatible. I expect them to maintain this. Like 15 years from now, I can go play this game that I had 15
But
years ago.
that's still the prerogative of whoever's leading.
Right.
Yeah.
Because one of the reasons why they had such struggles that they were out of touch with the gamers with the launch of the Xbox One, and that really damaged the whole outlook on it.
Sure did.
And they couldn't
Oh yeah,
even.
that's why
I mean,
Sony
they
is
got
blowing them
doubled.
away right now.
That's how they got
so
blown out.
that's why they've turned around and made such a hardcore press for pleasing us. But again, who's to say if they are really successful with the first part? If they're like, well, this is too expensive for us, we're just going to make you pay more. I don't want to be nickeled and dimed to death.
Right.
Actually, do you expect with next gen title
price
prices
increase?
to go up $10?
I expect that as well. It
Now,
happened.
Microsoft exclusives free on Game Pass.
True.
$1 a
That's nutty.
You're
That's
right there.
Insane.
All right,
Actually.
so I have a question for you guys because I need to spend a little bit of time on this one.
Mhm.
I'm going to go around the table. It's a two-part question. Who wins 2019 out of the big three and why? Who would like to start other than me? I'll go last.
Crickets.
Oh, I can start.
Go ahead,
You know who I'm going to say.
Sony.
Yeah, there you go.
Nintendo.
I think that's who he thinks. I think Microsoft
You don't
wins.
know me.
We did discuss this personally, you and I. I think Microsoft wins it. I've got actually quite a few reasons. We've got this stuff that they announced at last year's E3, all of the games and everything like that we didn't get dates on. I expect to come out this year. That's just kind of my conjecture, though. At CES, they explained that they're expecting to buy more companies, and they also kind of hinted at some things going on this year that we didn't get announced. So they've said that those companies that they purchased, they had stuff that was going on beforehand
Like
that
the
didn't
Outer
get
Worlds,
announced,
for example.
that will be released this year that we don't know anything about. So I expect The Outer Worlds, which isn't a Microsoft exclusive because it was beforehand, but it's, to me, I'm saying that's a Microsoft game because they own the company. And Gears of War 5, games like this are going to be huge, as they always are. But then I'm expecting titles from like Ninja Theory, that The Initiative, their new Santa Monica studio. I expect titles from these, which is my bold prediction, by the way.
In Exile. They have Wasteland 3 coming out.
I expect big titles from these companies, big kind of breakout. Here we are, Microsoft is behind us, and this is what we can produce. And I expect that to come out.
The thing with that is we won't really see Microsoft's backing of them until like 3 years down the road when new titles.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. So how does that help them win 2019, though?
Well, the thing with that is you
Well, I
can
mean,
say that, but companies like Ninja Theory,
I mean, marketing they'll have a lot more money for.
not only that, but Senua's Sacrifice was beautiful from Ninja Theory.
yeah, it was.
But now they're going to have the budget to have the technology to even advance beyond that, and they're going to be being played on the most powerful console other than the Mad Box, which I still don't believe.
Well,
but
they claim
What
it
about
could be.
the Soldier
They're-
Boy console?
they're going to be
No,
on
those are done.
the
Yeah,
most.
no, they got pulled.
They're going to be on the
Nintendo
most
said,
powerful console.
Hey, we're going to sue you, so you better get rid of that. And that's all gone.
The most powerful console on the market right now, exclusively. I expect a lot of these, a lot of the titles from indies that we saw, Battle Frogs, stuff like that. That Tunic is beautiful.
Yeah, Tunic, that looks really good.
Things like this, I expect to come out this
Zelda
year.
Fox?
Tunic has a 2019. If you look at their website,
that's
they have a
coming out this
2019 date. All
Sea
of
of
these
Solitude?
games, I
Makes
expect
super
to
hype for.
to
The
just
Solitude.
blow me away.
Okay.
Or
All right,
two.
this sounds promising. Brennan, what do you got? Who do you think's going to win? Sony?
I'm gonna let Kailey go first.
Oh.
I'm still debating.
I'm still debating too. It
Internally.
really depends on what Sony pulls out of their hat. this year.
I don't think Sony wins.
I don't-
At this point,
I'm-
they are who I have eliminated. Right now,
I'm
I'm
not-
between Microsoft and Nintendo.
I'm not really confident that Sony can really wow us, but there's still a chance.
It's still Sony.
The thing with them is I only think they have like their third-party contributors for this
Right.
entire year, and that's
However,
not going to win the year for me.
it
But-
could because they
If
have
they
the
release
market.
Lost Soul aside, that'd be dope.
If they
That
have the
game was
market,
insane.
they have over 90 million PS4 sold. They can ride on third party this year. And if they were just like, hey,
But with that
Ghost of
third-party
Tsushima.
sales for both,
Right
do
there.
you win if you ride on third party the whole year?
They
I don't
could.
expect
If
them to
you're
win it.
if you're riding on it, so that's why I'm leaning more towards Nintendo, because I'm not confident that Sony can pull a rabbit out of a hat
Mhm.
because they're being shifty and shady and trying to be cool about it. And I don't think that they have enough charisma to kind of sail through.
No,
But
not
I
with-
do
not with
think-
Sean
Leather
Layden.
jacket.
Not with Sean
But-
Layden. You ain't got
no,
that.
no.
But-
I do think. Oh, go ahead.
They've got a strong catalog, and they've got VR, which
That's
they've
true.
been really
They
sinking
do.
a lot of stuff into. Which I'd be curious to see if Microsoft has any solid plans to do much with that.
there have been rumblings.
Next gen, there have been some rumblings.
Right.
We were going to bring that up,
But
nothing
but
solid.
PlayStation's really sunk a lot of resources into developing that,
Mhm.
and we've had a lot of success with this last round with the headsets.
Oculus is better.
Microsoft does have the Oculus, but it's PC.
But there's limits. So
But the Oculus is going on its own.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah.
So, leaning more towards Nintendo because they've really nailed it with the Switch, and
And the possibility of Switch 2.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big year for them.
so I'm gonna go with Nintendo for 2019,
All
tentatively.
right. Kaylee's locked in. Nintendo. Brett's locked in. Microsoft. Xbox.
I'm going with
Brennon's
Xbox.
locking in Xbox.
Sorry, Sony.
Why?
I hope you wow me.
Why? Just because everything we talked about thus far and the prospect of future, like Fable, I'm still waiting for that. Still hype about
Playground
that.
games.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't even bring them up, but
No, you
exactly.
didn't.
It's
A
another-
new
you were
one
gonna
they
go right there.
acquired who are possibly building Fable.
I was bringing some new info for you.
Yeah.
Especially
you did.
the collaboration they could have with the companies they just bought.
True.
That would be insane. Obsidian writing a Fable game. I'm just saying.
Oh my!
Lose my mind. But
Don't even.
there's that. There's the coming games. Gears 5 looks like it's going to rebound from Gears 4, which I was not a huge fan of.
The last
so
couple of years have not been great.
This one looks very
also
interesting.
terrible. But Gears 3 was really good, and 2 and 1 were both really good. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping it returns to those days with that. There were like 18 exclusives we saw, and there's like 15 still to be released this upcoming year. So they just have so much in the works that we know what's happening. With Sony, they're like Kailey said, they're just dark on it. We don't know what's happening. Nintendo, I'm not a huge Switch guy, so they don't really win the year for me, but it depends. Especially if that Marvel game comes out and it's really good, it might change my mind.
You got to
But
commit to something.
at this
If
point,
I-
He is.
if
He's committed.
It's
champion-
Xbox.
He's committed to
champion
Xbox.
indecision.
He's staying with Xbox.
but yeah. So Nintendo could steal it for me, but it depends on how
I'm-
they release some stuff.
I would really like to see Sony do something good, but I'm nervous.
I just want Lost Soul aside from Sony. Just give me that. That game, you've shown it to us.
I just want Final Fantasy VII
Yeah.
remake.
Yeah, you'll get it, but not
They-
this gen.
Maybe
they
not
gave
in my
him his own
lifetime.
studio at this point. Like you gave
Luminous Studios.
it was one developer. You gave him his own studio. Just give me the game. I've seen clips. It looks awesome.
You can't have it yet.
I know. That's what they're telling me. And it has no date. And it was
All right.
not shown at E3.
So we got 2
hurt
Xbox,
me.
1 Nintendo.
And you?
Now here's my take on it. I'll start with Sony. I think they are
Tell us your
going
choice
to.
first.
No, I'll tell you
I already
later.
know his choice.
I think they're going to ride heavily
So
on third
dramatic.
party this year. I think that is their focus because they, as we have discussed before, somewhere in their strategy, they messed up and they have a gap they did not intend to have. And it's now. And it just happens to be right before next gen. So I don't think they try to push these titles out that they've been working on and then release next gen and then try to release them again.
I think
So-
they plan for that.
No, they didn't plan for this. They didn't plan
That's
to have a
large
year.
gap. It's a year long.
They didn't plan to have a year where they didn't know what to do. And they didn't plan on Days Gone taking as long as it's taking.
Oh,
And they
obviously.
didn't plan.
It's ever comes out at this point.
And they didn't plan on Dreams taking as long as it's taking.
I wanted
I forgot
Dreams
all
so
about
bad.
Dreams.
So I do think Days Gone releases probably
Now you
in
brought
April.
up The Hurt.
And I do think Dreams
Of E3.
releases this generation. And I also think Dreams releases on PS5 because that's not something that they're going to release and then scrap because it's just capable of so many things. So I think that they do ride on third party this year. I don't think Days Gone is going to do well. I think
It's a
we're
zombie
Another
horror
zombie
game.
horror
overloaded
game.
with these games, and The Last of Us 2 is the one that everyone's going to buy from Sony,
Correct.
not Days Gone. So I think it'll probably sell okay in April, but it's not going to do
God of War,
anything. It's not
Spider-Man
going to do.
numbers.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be like that
Well,
for them.
What does it have to compete against in that April as well?
MK, but that's completely different.
I was just thinking because it might sell well, decently, just based on competition.
Right. I don't think there's going to be anything out there that's going to really gonna oppose it.
Yeah.
So I think it's the perfect time. So I do think we'll see that in April. As far as the next gen goes, I told you earlier in the show I would touch on this. I do think next gen is going to be 60 frames per second because Sony is going to be launching their PSVR version 2.0, and I really think they're focusing on having 60 frames per eye so that they can have that HD visual. And I really think that's how you say this is 2.0 because just doing little tiny upgrades isn't going to do it.
Yeah, it's
The visual fidelity really needs to change for VR 2.0, and that's how you do it, 60 frames. So the system has to be capable of doing that. So that's where I'm at with that. So back to Sony, they ride on third party, and if they did say, okay, Last of Us 2, November, they have a good chance of winning because they have 90 million units out there. I don't think it's going to happen. So I don't think Sony's going to win this year. Microsoft, you just don't know enough. Just don't know enough to give them the edge. If you look at it this way, they can also ride third-party support. And if they do release Gears 5 and another exclusive, maybe 3 of them, that's all Sony did last year. They had 3 plus third-party, and they were able to win last year. Microsoft might be able to do that this year, but I don't think so. I think they're going to really hold on till next gen as well. I think both of them are. However, Nintendo is the one I think is going to win 2019 because they aren't holding on to anything. They are here now.
And they're branching out into different markets too.
But how does Nintendo win? So
I know.
here's
We
how
had this whole
We've had this
discussion.
exact-
here's how I think they're going to win. There are going to be multiple Nintendo Direct events that showcase games with releases within a 3-month window, with a sprinkle of announcements and teases. This is
He's
the
gonna say
Nintendo
Fire
way.
Emblem in like 3 seconds.
Yep.
I think Nintendo will have the first event of the year, and I think they're poised to have the biggest 2019. Actually, the rumors right now is sometime this month we may be getting a Direct. So we've got some really big exclusives lined up for 2019 that include Animal Crossing, Pokemon's Next Gen,
Animal.
Fire Emblem,
That's supposed to come out in January.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Super Smash Brothers updates, and the DLC packs. And you got third-party developers continuing to bring ports over to the Switch, including the recently announced Dragon's Dogma 2, Dark Arisen. I also think...
It's Dragon Dogma's 1.
Oh, it is?
Dragon's Dogma 1.
Yeah.
Dark Arisen, yeah.
Oh, my bad.
2 hasn't been announced yet.
Oh,
He's
that's right.
hoping for
He's
that.
hoping he
He's
got excited.
hoping
I
for-
apologize. I didn't mean to get you excited like that. I also think a new Zelda game is going to be announced this year, and I also think that a new Mario Kart is going to be announced,
Oh, yeah.
but it won't release until 2020 or later.
Pretty bold.
There's even rumor of a potential Switch 2.0 this year, also known as the Nintendo Switch Pro. So we'll see. Everything I just listed has the potential to bring in a ton of money for Nintendo, but I want to focus on one title.
I know that he has all this written down because he changes his voice when
That
he's reading.
one title is Marvel
Stares
Ultimate
intently at what he's
Alliance
reading.
3. The Ultimate Alliance series has a cult following, and for a good reason, too. They are all great games, You have Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, and before those you had the X-Men Legend games. And those were 2 as well. And those titles were all fantastic games. Ultimate Alliance came out in 2006 on PS3 and 360.
Oh man, he's
And this
done the research
game,
too.
this game alone still sells for more than $50
Wikipedia
on those
is great.
systems. If you don't know what Ultimate Alliance is about, let me explain a little bit. You control a team of 4 characters.
Mine was off the dome. He had
You
no-
plus 3 AI or 4-player co-op. There's a campaign with a full story to go through, tons of unlockables, including gear and costumes, a level-up system to unlock skills and powers for your heroes, and more. You okay?
Fantastic.
Good. The gameplay is actually fantastic. It's like an arcade beat-em-up with over-the-top superhero powers that you can
Naturally.
combo and detonate and stuff like that. And you can use other heroes to create devastating, screen-clearing ultimate attacks. It's so much fun. And it's potentially an endless loot-based dungeon crawler, is what it is. Think Diablo, but with Marvel superheroes.
Mhm.
That's going to be so awesome.
And the reason I'm saying all this is for this reason. If Nintendo and Marvel partnered up closer than just securing this as an exclusive title on the Switch, which this is an exclusive for the Switch.
Yep.
And they have more to offer, such as rolling out an exclusive amiibo line for some of these Marvel characters.
This man would lose his
He would
mind
buy
if
everyone.
they had amiibos.
And even if they went further and made it like a crossover title and offered some of Nintendo's greatest characters as DLC or some sort of special edition Switch, I believe this title alone could bring Nintendo massive numbers this year. If done properly, it could easily be Nintendo's title.
Well,
of
they
the
did
year.
Ganondorf and Diablo had its own special edition, so I don't see why they wouldn't do it with this.
And it is my bold prediction that Nintendo and Marvel are going to do just that. I think they're going to absolutely focus on this title and do the amiibo, do the DLC, and win
Just
2019.
throwing this out right now,
Cinematic Universe
you're not
actors do all the
buying
voice
every
acting.
single amiibo. I will not allow it.
The game budget is growing.
Oh. Sacrifices must be made.
There's a wedding
No
this
more
year.
food.
No more food.
The amiibos
that's-
must be
All
purchased.
of the amiibo will be invited to the
I
wedding.
think that's a very solid argument. And if they hadn't
I mean,
planned
it
on
was
that,
well
if they listened
notated.
to you,
He wrote a whole essay on it,
That was my thought. I had to write it down.
All his thoughts
right off his head.
in an essay format.
MLA.
he's,
A thematic
he's very,
essay
he's,
format.
He's very detailed.
Very detailed, very
Or
thorough.
organized person.
You know, it's weird because
Well, on the line of bold predictions, I guess we're doing those now.
We should.
Do it.
Mine is Fable 4 being announced. And that is all.
That is it.
Just-
E3,
Just announced.
Guessing or
Just announced.
no date.
Just
No
announced.
date.
Wow,
Just
you
announced.
are
Just
a
Within
announced.
this
pansy.
next year.
You
Just
are
announced.
a pansy.
Also, on top of that, Cyberpunk 2077 will be November of this year.
Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday.
You're gonna actually bring that into it,
I-
or you no date on that one either?
No, Cyber Monday. 100%.
I feel like
That's when
that
think
has
it's
to.
released.
I feel like that will happen if we get PS5 this year.
No.
I think that's gonna be next gen.
No, I think Cyberpunk's this gen. With a remaster coming
yeah,
out.
I think it's both. Yeah, it'll be one
I
of
think
the.
anything that releases this year will have a remaster.
The
That's
same thing
one of the
they did.
major
I don't even
titles.
think it'll
GTA
be-
5 when
Yeah,
I don't even
Xbox
think it'll
One
be a
came out.
remaster. I think it'll just be.
It'll be
a
the
port.
HD upgrade or whatever
Correct.
you call it.
Yeah, whatever you want to say. It'll be the PS5 version.
Yeah.
But
Well, like The Last of Us 2 came out, and then the PS4 came out, and they called it Last of Us 2 Remastered. That's
The
what they
Last
called
of
it,
Us
the
2
remaster.
never came out, sir.
What? Oh, yeah, The Last of Us, my bad.
Good call. Good call.
Just The Last of Us.
I think my bold prediction is Microsoft purchases 3 more studios, at least 3 more
Give
studios.
us the dates of the purchases.
Yeah, when's it going to happen? Who are
Quarter 1, 3, and 4. And I think we get a game from Ninja Theory. I think it releases this year.
Senua's Sacrifice 2.
I think it would be beautiful, whatever it was.
Hellblades.
they? The Ultimate Sacrifice.
Sophie's choice.
Wow, dark.
Super dark. Do
But
you
yeah,
have
that is my bold prediction.
So you're not going to guess any studios? You're just going to leave it at that?
I think the one that we've heard rumors about,
Sony.
All the studios.
the one we've heard rumors about, I think it's Sunset or something like that. That they work with Sony usually.
Oh, Insomniac.
No, not Insomniac. What are they called? They've done like racing games and stuff for Sony. I can't think what they're called, but I think
either.
we get them, and I could see 2 other studios, but I'm not sure which ones yet.
Are we contracted?
He's part of
with
Microsoft.
Yeah, sorry,
I
yeah,
was
he's
not
joining
aware
Microsoft
of this.
tonight.
I am Microsoft.
I also
getting
picked
them.
up on that. I was thinking,
Do you have a
They are
Super
my
Bowl
team.
prediction,
Stan.
Kailey?
My team.
I think that we get a Syria announcement for a new Witcher game. I think she's going to be the lead for the next one. I think that's going to be announced this year. Right now, they're doing a Witcher crossover with Monster Hunter World, and that's coming out on the 26th of January. Well, the event starts the 26th of January and
That's
ends the
the
22nd.
1 year
Yes.
anniversary event.
So, and that's scheduled to be right in the middle of it. So, I think that would be perfect timing for them to do an announcement for a game. I don't think it'll come out this year. I think it'll come out next year if they do it. But they average about 4 years in between their Witcher games. So, I think it's about time because it came out in 2015 with an expansion in 2016. So,
Brennan is
I-
literally wearing a Witcher hoodie right
is.
now.
He is.
Definitely agree. Ciri's the next main character, which I'm super hyped for because her powers are awesome. Unless she lost them fighting the Frost, the White, whatever it's called. I'm not sure about that, but I hope not because teleporting was sick in that game.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, she's definitely the lead. Don't think it's going to be announced. I think that's definitely next gen, and I think that's probably announced probably 2020.
I'm going to disagree with you, but only if your bold prediction comes true. If Cyberpunk comes out this year, especially in November, then I could definitely see hers coming true because it's their next game.
Yeah.
If Cyberpunk doesn't release this year, I don't see them announcing that because they're focused solely on Cyberpunk.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you
That's
on
fair.
that because we just saw BioWare essentially do the same thing.
Right, because
Anthem's coming out, and they
so
gave
they
you
said,
that little
hey,
tease for Dragon Age.
Don't
here's
compare
the
the
next one.
Don't do it. Don't ever do that again. Not while I'm in the room.
One more bold prediction from me that's not from Nintendo is from Sony is that when they inevitably do show next gen, I think at the conference, one of the games they're going to show is Spider-Man 2.
Mhm.
That's
Where
it.
you
That's all I got.
endlessly fight gangs again. Enjoy.
Can Lost Soul Aside please come out, Sony? Can you guys just do that?
You can't have
That game looked done. It did. Like, you showed me like 15 minutes of a boss fight. It looked finished. Just
what
bring
would
it
you,
out.
What would you do if it did come out this year?
I'd be so
Buy
happy. I would never
Buy
play
it.
it though because Anthem
Never
comes
play it.
out next
He's never going to play.
like a month from now.
Yeah, those are our predictions for 2019. I think we're in a pretty good place in a year where a ton of games are going to come out. And we didn't even really talk about the games, which we will do at a later time. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have this week. I want to thank you all for listening and thank you guys for joining me on the panel. Remember, go over to the TSGG, send us your questions so we can read them here on the show.
On Twitter.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice week.
See you all
See
See you
ya.
next week.